You're sick and tired of watching your defense get carved up like Swiss cheese in Madden 26, but when you try to do the same thing on offense, you have no success. Don't worry, because in this video I'm breaking down the top 3 offensive playbooks that's going to have you scoring every drive, and the last one is one you've probably never heard of. Let's jump right into it. All right, and so at 3, we're gonna have a super toxic offense. If you just wanna turn your brain off, this is gonna be the playbook for you. All right, and we talk about a toxic offense. What am I referring to? I'm referring to the RPO game, okay? So you're gonna come into gun tight open, you're gonna come into motion RPO read flat, all right? Now, what makes this play so glitchy is something that I talked about in my free guide to dominate Madden 26. Comment free, and I'll go ahead and send it over to you. But here we're talking about this RPO and what makes it so dangerous, all right? So we're gonna put them in man coverage, and you're gonna notice with this specific RPO, when we bring our guy in motion, the ball is gonna get snapped basically as he's still running across the field. Now, obviously, you need your blocks to set up well, but what's gonna make this super dangerous is that there's gonna be no man switching involved, and if you watch this outside corner, like, he's gonna have absolutely no chance. You notice how this time we actually block and we're able to turn this into a big gain. Normally, when you bring guys in motion, they have to, like, I mean, they can still be running, but they're never gonna, like, he's still behind the offensive line by the time we snap this ball. Like, he's just now crossing, and that time it's actually zone coverage, which is honestly even better because they're gonna have absolutely no chance. But this is such a unique RPO, and one that, I mean, I'm sure you've never seen before from this Giants playbook, and it's why the Giants is low-key a sneaky offensive playbook, because, like, you're just seeing it. Like, there's nothing that man coverage defender can do. You can put anyone in that spot, and they're just gonna get cooked, because also on defense, there's no man switching built into this play. So it's not like one of these outside corners can just bump over and check this guy as he's running across the field. They're gonna have absolutely no chance defending this play from man coverage. And then, like I showed you earlier, since the ball's still snapped behind the line of scrimmage, your blocks are going to set up really well. You can put a really good receiver there like Jalen Hyatt, who's really able to make some stuff shake after the catch. It's like, dog, this play, you come into tight open. I mean, there's certainly other things that you can do from tight open as well, but if we go ahead and let their defensive end basically drop out, you can notice that now you can just read him, right? So you can just take the snap. If he wants, you can just keep it with Jackson Dart on a read option and turn that into a big gain. So overall, this is just a super toxic play. But that's not it from the Giants playbook, because, I mean, like, it's a toxic playbook. You can't just be one-dimensional, only have, you know, one good RPO. Well, introducing another good RPO, right? So we're going to come into gun Y off trips here, and this is the best RPO in the game, right? RPO read Y flat. It's so toxic, all right? All we're going to do is take the snap, and we set up our blocks, and we're going to be able to throw that pass out there. The tight end breaks out to the flat super fast, which is going to be nearly impossible for zone coverage defenses to actually guard. You can see Jackson Dart's kind of side-arming this throw. We're able to turn this into like a 15-yard gain off of just a simple read, all right? And you can also obviously keep it on the read option. You notice that the read key defender crashes down, and you have to make the read. But I'm just saying, if they take away that bubble, don't think this play is dead, because you can try to keep the ball with your quarterback right there and, you know, make some stuff shake after the play. But normally what's just going to be wide open is just this throw out here to the tight end. You know, these receivers out on the edge are going to do a good job of setting up blocks, and you're going to be able to make stuff shake after the catch, all right? So honestly, RPO read Y flat, very good. But if they want to play RPO defense, right, so I don't know, man up the slot corner onto the tight end, right, they're expecting that play, you can just put your tight end on a drag this time, run him to a different area, and then use him as a lead blocker like that for a huge touchdown on the ground. So honestly, this play, RPO read Y flat, and the play from gun tight open, 2 super toxic RPOs that make the Giants a super unique and underrated playbook. All right, BLT, what offensive playbook are you using? Right now I'm in the Steelers offense. Let me show you why. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put them in random play, and we're gonna come into my offense right here. And we're gonna come into our first play, which is going to be cross wheels here from gun tight doubles. An amazing route concept, right? We're gonna have them in random defense here because I wanna show you that this play works against every defense. All right, boom, we're gonna take this snap, and they're in man coverage right here. So I'm probably just gonna hit that underneath throw to DK Metcalf. That was pretty good defense from them, but we just have so many options that a lot of the time it doesn't matter. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and and call it again. And you know, a lot of these plays here you can call against any defense. You're able to see that's a great dot down the field. And against cover 2, you can look to that crosser, you know, as our guys start to run off some of these deep zones. All right, boom, take it. Don't ever neglect that running back out of the backfield right there. You can, if you just quick throw it, that time I waited like a second, but if you just quick throw that pass, that's a pretty easy completion, especially even against zone coverages. Boom, quick throw that, and we're able to pick up easy yards. Obviously, like I showed you, have your crosser, but if they run cover 2, for example, right, we're gonna put them in cover 2 contain. We're gonna set the route concept up. Actually, we're gonna change it up just a little bit, so it's gonna be basically flipped. Boom, we're gonna set up like this. You step up in the pocket, and then you have X over the top as he runs over the top of that flat. Again, the key caveat with that is just getting time to throw. But you know, you never want to force anything, right? You just want to hit this drag underneath. For the purposes of this video, I'm looking over the top, but in a real game, you're basically just spacing the field out in zone coverage, and you're just trying to hit the best available option. So that play cross wheel is really dangerous, but this formation or this, you know, playbook's not done there, because obviously we can just come into gun bunch X nasty, come into motion cross post, once again put them in random defense. All right, and we're going to just set this route concept up, reset the play. We're just gonna set the route concept up something like this, bring our guy in motion. Okay, obviously they're in 3 deep right here, but you have that tight end right underneath. That time I missed a wide open read to my tight end in the middle. But the great thing about this play is even when you miss reads, a lot of the time you still have guys running wide open, you know, depending on the coverage. Right here, kind of some man coverage, more so we're able to throw that pass, that crab route. Never neglect your crab route, man. It's such a dangerous route, because boom, you're gonna see right here, they're gonna run man coverage, they're gonna man switch us, but it's not gonna matter because we're still able to get out to the edge right there and pick up a first down. All right, so boom, we're gonna take the snap, and I'm calling this route concept against every single defense in this game, because you're gonna be able to see that time you have your crab route wide open again. So again, against every single defense, someone is going to be left pretty much wide open, because zone's gonna suck against this. Boom, they're in cover 2, so then you're just gonna look over the top if your quarterback doesn't sail a wide open pass. I can't wait for Aaron Rodgers to retire, man. Just please get him off of the Steelers. I use this dude in like every video, and he always sucks. All right, boom. Crab route once again. You can just see how easy this offense is. So whether you want to run cross wheels or you want to come into bunch nasty, run motion cross post. So whether you want to run cross wheels from tight doubles or you just want to come into motion cross post and throw dots, you have so many answers versus every defense from the Steelers playbook. And the best part about that Steelers playbook is you can go to the link down below in the pinned comment in the description and grab it for 20% off when you use code WELCOME at checkout. I'll see you over there. All right, and that hidden best overall playbook that no one knows about right now is the San Francisco 49ers. Let me show you why. All right, so if we come into this formation, gun, empty, bunch tight, all right, we're going to come into this play clear deep. This is a glitch play in this game. All right, we're gonna go ahead and respot the ball right here. And I wanna show you against cover 2 defenses what happens to just their zones. All right, this is a cover 2. Obviously you have a mid read. Some people use the mid read. Some people, people that run match coverage, right? They're just gonna leave the mid read on the field, all right? And unfortunately, George Kittle got hurt a couple days ago, so he's not going to be involved in this, but you can still see this guy's wide open. Demario Davis, the guy in the mid-read defender, completely leaves the middle of the field wide open for no reason. All right, boom, take the snap, give us time to throw. Look at that. Like, a mid-read is supposed to be the perfect zone to be able to stop that, because the zone's just supposed to drop right to the middle of the field. But for some reason, the logic in this game, the logic with this play makes it to where this is a just wide open, easy touchdown down the field. It's just terrible. It's terrible defense, and they're going to have a very tough time stopping it. But it's really not just done there, because if we put them in a different coverage, cover 3, right? We're going to take the snap, we're going to step up in the pocket, and then we're just going to be able to basically treat that like a seam streak. The key, though, is stepping up in the pocket so you can pass lead the ball down with the left stick. But you can see, boom, Brock Purdy stepping up in the pocket, and now we see that we can hold this defender in the middle of the field with these 2 routes, boom, and now we can just throw this pass, aggressive, catch it right underneath him, come back to the ball, and it's an easy completion. All right, so really, against cover 3, you're just trying to wait and throw the ball once our guy, your tight end, runs over the top of the flat. So you're able to see boom right there, kind of just a weird overthrow with bumping, but it's the same concept. Once our guys run over the top of those hook zones in cover 3, wide open. Next defense will try, right? Man coverage. Well, the great thing about this play is you have 3 pretty good man beaters already. So boom, you're gonna see this time Ricky Pearsall create some separation, a little bit of an underthrow there from Brock Purdy, but corner route can get open. Out route to your running back, which we're going to test on this play. Christian McCaffrey against a linebacker. He should absolutely shred this dude every single time. So again, you have a lot of options, you know, regardless of the coverage that they run. You don't have to make any hot routes. And that's the beautiful thing about this play. Walk the line, see what coverage they're in, and boom. Okay, even against, you know, more zone coverage right there, you can see that backside dig is open. So the key with this play from the 49ers playbook is making sure you're just snapping the ball as soon as possible. Don't even think about it, because I mean, you're seeing it against cover 2, a very common coverage in the game. You're just gonna have a wide open, like you could literally call this 100 times. Cover 2 defense, that guy will move completely from the middle of the field. But this is the reason why you watched until the end of the video, because this is the hidden secret that I'm going to show you, okay? We're going to come into cover 4, all right? Cover 4, you think cover 4 is anti-bomb defense, right? No way you can bomb a cover 4, right? We're going to come into cover 4 quarters right here, all right? And we're going to call this play clear deep now. All right, so this is going to work against cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, cover 4 drop. All right, all we're going to do is set the route concept up the same way, but this time you just have to throw this pass right as those zones basically split. All right, because they're in cover 4, but the zones are just going to split because of the routes that you have on the field. You got to look at it. Okay, you have a corner route, boom. This defender comes and guards it for some reason because he doesn't see anyone in the middle of the field. There's a shriek right here occupying this defender. And so again, cover 4 is anti-bomb defense, but we're still able to just scheme a guy wide open. And again, no hot routes with this play. Boom. You're going to see, boom, once again. Okay, I just wait for the zones to break out. And this is best against cover 4 drop, obviously, but because it's way less fluky than match coverage. But I mean, this is just easy work. Cover 2, just destroyed. Cover 4, the safeties literally just split and give you a wide open throw right up the seam. And cover 3, same thing, right up the seam. So this 49ers playbook, really just because of this 5 wide scheme, really separates it from all the other playbooks in the game. But obviously you have bunch X nasty, doubles, flex Y off, you know, bunch spread nasty. You have a bunch of other formations. Trips X nasty is really good, as I talked about. So this 49ers playbook, the best playbook that's starting to take shape right now, and you need to jump ahead of the meta. All right, so like I said, go to the link down below in the description in the pinned comment, grab my Steelers offensive ebook, use code WELCOME for 20% off at checkout. But if you're still struggling on defense in Madden 26, check out this video right here where I break down 5 tips that'll help you on that side of the ball. I'll see you over there.